Welcome back, everybody. You can see a great shot there of our pit area and spectators. Everybody is coming out to enjoy the racing action today here at Rush Springs Ranch. We just completed our courses 1 and 2 for our youth class, and we are ready to move on to course 2 for everybody else. We are going to be coming back with our Super Grip UTV teen class, round 2. And we've got 5 great racers in our teen class. Everyone did an excellent job on course 1. I'll go ahead and give you that quick rundown from how things ended up. Brantley Havens had the fastest time, followed by Jace Northington. Then we had Josie Northington, Sadie Ellison, and Clara Hoback in her first time in the teen class.
Yeah.
I think we are ready to go to the line and see who's going to kick things off for us. Looks like Jace Northington starting off course 2. You guys are watching Matt and Bree on Hillside Live. Thanks for tuning in with us, both our online audience on Rock Racing TV's YouTube channel and our television audience on Power Sports World. We are halfway through our day of racing here at Rush Springs Ranch. This is course 2 for the teen class, and then we've got UTV Bounty, the unlimited bouncers, and limited bouncers. So plenty of racing still to go here today. Jace had a second place finish on course 1, but only by about 0.5 of a second behind Brantley Havens. So those two are battling it out for today and for the season.
And again, I was giving him and his sister Josie a hard time, telling Josie, hey, stop picking on your brother, because she actually beat him in our last race. And we've watched them just battle, not just all the other competitors, but each other a bunch this year. We have a whole bunch of spectators over there clapping.
That was some pretty big air that Jace just got. I think we're going to see our teen class pushing even harder here on course 2. They've got course 1 under their belts. They've got that seat time for the day. They're ready to absolutely send it now. Let's see what that time is for Jace. An 81.899. Wow, that is shaving off several seconds from his course 1 time. Brantley Havens on the line now. Brantley's going to be pushing hard too.
Mr. Cowboy Hat himself. Brantley's got that iconic sticker with his cowboy.
Oh, whoa,
no!
Brantley.
Back on.
Oh.
Dang it. You could tell.
Oh, man, he tried.
He gassed it, trying to put it back on all fours.
And that was just a terrible spot to, he was stuck between a ledge and a hard place there.
You could see him standing next to the buggy, but you could only see his helmet because he's a little shorter than the buggy, being that this is our teen class. But you could see his helmet pop up, so.
Oh, man. Brantley going up on 2 wheels, trying to save it, but he had a ledge on the other side of him, rolled down. Let's check it out one more time with our Amsoil action shot.
Again, coming up there with pretty quick speed. Whip it around. I think it just got a little top heavy.
Bicycling on the corner and just, oh man, if he could have just steered downhill. But it all happens so fast. And when you're in the driver's seat, you blink and it's over, and it can be hard to know what to do and how to react. So, man, a good try from Brantley for sure. That's going to be interesting to see how the points change up now. Jace is going to be making his way up the points list a little bit. Yeah, and again, that's his dad there, Brantley's dad there, giving him an attaboy, saying it's all good. It happens. Man, I thought he was going to be able to put it back on all fours. That stinks. we've got Clara Hoback on the line now with her dad Justin riding with her. Clara, you're used to seeing racing in our youth class, and this is her first time racing in the teen class. Our youth class drivers are allowed to have one trial race in the teen class while they're also still racing youth, and kind of get a feel for it, and see if they're ready to move up yet. Clara, she hasn't aged out yet of the youth class, but, she's been racing it for several years, doing really well, and it's got the experience there, so thinking that it's time to start looking at the next step, next level, which would be going up to the teen class. So she did a great job on course 1. She did some practicing out here last night, getting comfortable in the full-size RZR. Let's see how she does on course 2. Handling the SCS stone pile really well. That's not something she's had to do in the youth class.
And again, I'm sure that doesn't add to the nerves at all when you're watching the guy in front of you race and roll over. You're
not just the guy in front of you, but the points leader for the whole class.
Doing a great job here. And again, this is being that she just raced her 200, that 170 200 class. I'm sure this is a massive difference, going so much faster. Being out there and you're going 10 times faster than you were in your 170, moments ago. So I'm sure this is an entirely different feel for her as well.
Oh yeah, she's sitting up higher off the ground. The buggy is 4 times the size. Like you said, so much more power. She's actually got 4-wheel drive this time.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
All kinds of improvements here.
Yeah, I forgot the 170s are 2-wheel drive. Yeah. You can go a little faster when you have 4-wheel drive.
Claire just did a great job with that short course, and she is almost through the finish line. I would love to hear what Justin is saying to her in there.
I can imagine. That's a 112.484 from Miss Claire Holback. Got Josie Northington. Again, kind of going to try to knock down her brother. Again, I have absolutely enjoyed watching them two battle back and forth this season.
Well, Jace has a time of 81.8 right now, so Josie's going to have to get after it in order to beat that. And I think she is. Look at her go through that rock pile. All right, Josie, let's go.
She is flying over those jumps. I know her brother was pushing extremely hard. Again, shout out to Dearborn Drone Co. for this awesome drone footage you're watching here. I'd say it looks like she's checking up just a little bit, but still airing it out. There we go.
93.318. A great run from Josie, and you could see that she was sure to avoid whatever rocker it was that rolled her over after the finish line last time.
I saw her. Like, she mashed on that gas when she got close to that finish line.
She was like, I'm going this way this time.
Yeah.
Jace Northington still in the lead right now for course 1. Or, I'm sorry, course 2.
All right, while we're waiting, we got an Amsoil action shot. This is from Sadie's first run.
I'm sorry,
Josie's first run.
Speaking of her flip after the finish line, that's Brantley. Let's see. There's Josie.
Go. Came right through the finish line. Again, that tree's kind of high. There's a little rock right there. Just caught it, clipped it, and again, she might have been a little more timid on course 2 just because of that. And again, right as she went through the finish line, you could hear her gassing it.
All right, Sadie Ellison is going to wrap up course 2 for the team class. Oh, no. Looks like she got a little hung up in the SCS stone pile. There you go, Sadie.
Those are some big stones out there.
They really are. Remember, everything you see on camera is just more in person than it looks on your screen. Steeper hills, taller ledges, deeper ruts, bigger rocks, all of it. Everything is a little bit more. So if you're watching and you're thinking, well, that doesn't look that hard, or why is everyone struggling with that spot? You just got to keep that in mind.
Just ripping around that high bank turn.
Oh, Sadie sending it. I think she got just a little more than she bargained for out of that one.
Yeah, we've seen a youth racer had a tire kind of hanging off there. Got a little spicy on some of the jumps.
Well done, Sadie. Let's check that time. 105.851.
Wow.
And that does conclude our UTV teen class for the day. Let me give you guys that rundown from course 2 real quick. Jace Northington had the fastest time with an 81, followed by Josie Northington with a 93, Sadie Ellison with a 105, and Clara Hoback with a 112.
What an awesome run. Appreciate our youth class. All right, we got Bounty coming up next. Again, this is going to be course 2. The guys race the same course as the Rock Bouncers. So this next course is going to be some pretty big ledges. So I know we're going to have some issues, I think, with some of those guys. And the first big ledge, I think most guys who can carry enough momentum into it, they can clear it. But there's several ledges after that that are anywhere from a foot to a foot and a half. So I think some of our Bounty guys are definitely going to have some issues there, kind of bobbling back and forth. Hopefully the power to weight ratio, they can push it past that. But I think it's going to be very, very interesting for those guys.
Nathaniel Bell had the fastest time on course 1, followed by Casey Howell. And unfortunately, Austin Tidwell got a little lost on course and went off track, so he was a DNF. But I am sure he'll be back for round 2 and has been studying the course real well this time.
Again, our UTV bounty guys are just so brutal. You know, they take so much abuse because they are doing the exact same course that the limited and unlimited bouncers are doing, and they have so much bigger tires, so much horsepower, so they really are relying on that power to weight ratio. Unfortunately, the ledges are the same size regardless of what your power to weight ratio is. So,
and regardless of how tall your tires are.
Yes, they do not care. The ledges don't care. So, very unfortunate. It looks like Gary is down there getting them all lined up. Let's see if. Is that Nathaniel Bell point up there?
Looks like it is.
Got Justin and Zach down there. Justin does our starting gate as well as a dozen other things behind the scenes. Zach is our announcer. So if you've ever been to a race and heard an ornery guy on the mic being somewhat mischievous to a lot of the racers, that's Zach. And then you can see Keith behind him. Keith is our recovery expert / parts manager / tool extravaganza. Again, this is Nathaniel Bell with the UTV Bounty. This is course 2. They'll be going through that SCS stone pile there and then heading up to these big ledges. And again, you can see that you can do it flag there.
You can do it, Nathaniel.
Right on the, yeah, so that flag.
That one right there.
So that flag is right on the edge of a big, big rock. I think we're going to see some guys hit it, maybe wipe it out. So I don't see that. I don't see that flag either staying there long or being wiped out pretty quickly.
Well, it's a good time to point out that the banners serve multiple purposes out here on the course, not just to show off all of our lovely sponsor logos, but to mark the course clearly to make sure all of our drivers are running the same course. No one's, cutting a corner or finding a little shortcut or anything like that. And they also, like you just said, Matt, are marking certain spots on the course where maybe the drivers need to be extra aware. They might need to check up. There could be something like a rock or a stump or a hole they're marking an extra area to pay attention to. And also, if there's anywhere that might be, we don't want them coming in too hot to where it might be a spectator area or something, slinging rocks and whatever, kind of mark that and make sure that they're checking up and paying attention as well. So the banners serve multiple purposes out here, and that's why we do have a 30-second flag penalty if a driver runs over one.
And again, those rocks, stumps, and holes are something you definitely don't want to hit while you're ripping through. We've seen several UTVs, drivers hit those and have some pretty rough carnage. So again, those are definitely marking to help kind of keep you on course, sometimes for your safety as well.
Yep.
See what that time's going to be. That's a 1:33.700 for Nathaniel Bell.
Nicely done. That Yukon Do It hill is not easy either. Nathaniel handled it well.
I was hearing on the radio, I think they're going to take that flag that he clipped. I think they're going to take that flag completely out of the course. Yeah. So what they're going to do is they're going to go, again, it was really close kind of narrowing that course. They're going to move it a little bit over or take it out. Just that way it gives you a little wider berth if you are kind of, again, there's such a big rock there. It's going to kind of kick you to that right side just to kind of give the UTV drivers especially a little more area to work with, again, because there is such a big ledge there. I noticed that when I was kind of walking the course last night with my dad. I noticed that flag was really close, and there's a ledge. It's like a foot and a half tall that I was worried about kicking my bouncer to the side, much less a UTV or much lighter. So, and the problem is by the time you land right there, you've already lost all your momentum. So you're essentially just trying to climb over such big ledges, and these UTV Bounty series have such a small tire compared to the bouncers. It really is all they can do to kind of get up through there. So I know I say it all the time that they definitely have my respect, that these guys are just doing such a brutal course. So my hat is off to the UTV Bounty class.
Yeah, this class is the toughest course that we can throw at our
Yeah.
UTV drivers. We have a lot of UTV classes. We got Cup and Stock and Teen and Youth, and then, of course, Bounty. So this is for the ones that really want that extra challenge.
Yeah.
And really want to see what their vehicles can do running these same courses as the bouncers. So.
Yeah, and again, like I said, it's so brutal. Those ledges are just so big. For a smaller tire, again, a 43-inch tire, there's still a massive ledge. However, when you go down to like a 30-inch, 28-inch tire, I mean, again, just getting over those is hard, much less being on a super steep hill trying to do it with no momentum. Again, that first big ledge, they go up 3-4 feet, but they can kind of, as we saw Nathaniel Bell, roll in a little momentum, kind of gas it just right, land, kind of get the buggy resettled. But then crawling up all these massive ledges is just so difficult. So huge shout out to Nathaniel Bell, who was our first time on course 2. We got a few more guys, looks like, going to try it. Sounds like we got Casey Howe on the line. Casey, another veteran driver here. Nathaniel Bell also has some sweet new shirts I saw his family walk around with. We'll have to check those out later. Again, Casey, no stranger to our Bounty Series. Been out there beating on stuff for a while.
Casey is leading in points coming into the weekend with a 36-point lead over Nathaniel Bell.
There he goes.
He's going to need to finish this hill, though, to keep that lead.
Again, you can see how big some of these rocks and ledges are with these guys with a smaller tire size. And the reason they run a smaller tire size is most of the time on off-road you want a bigger tire. Unfortunately, when you run that big tire, it also puts a lot of extra stress on U-joints and axle shafts and drive shafts, the differential. So they've noticed, and again, Timmy was kind of the first one, guys, as they go to a smaller tire, they can create that wheel speed a lot faster, as well as it puts a lot less stress on those components, and hopefully they can live a lot longer. Kind of keeping the buggy together helps you go a little faster. Again, Casey Howe here trying to back up and clear some of these big ledges we have been talking about.
Yeah, and I think everything that you're talking about is coming into the play here. He doesn't have any momentum right now. These ledges, of course they're taller in person than it looks on camera right now.
And this is a super steep hill to begin with. Not to mention, like, these ledges are actually undercut.
There it is. All right, Casey. It's all downhill from here.
Again, coming all the way down, they're going to loop and head right back up. This is similar to where the first course was. It's a little bit easier than course 1, but it's very similar. Again, the UTVs were climbing this hill yesterday. Again, you can hear that motor just absolutely rip it, trying to get all the way up the hill.
Definitely having to work for this one.
Yeah, you can see all the dust. You can tell how loose some of that gravel and that rock is. Again, like we saw the bouncers on the first course, just, so much debris that's so loose on there.
All right, I lied before. Now it's all downhill from here, Casey.
Again, headed out to the short course area where we've seen guys have a lot of fun this weekend.
Let her eat a little bit. You got to get through the hills first, and then you can open it up out here.
Airing it out.
That's a 197.187 for Casey Howell. And Alston Tidwell is going to wrap up our UTV Bounty class.
Here we go. Clock is hot. You can see that buddy getting jolted around through there and show how violent some of those rocks are. You see him kind of working to that left side, kind of coming sort of the left side, kind of working over to that 45-degree angle. And I've noticed with the bouncer, it's a little bit easier if you can start on that left side, come across. Oh. Backing down, getting recentered.
I can't tell if he broke something or if he's just deciding his plan of attack here. Can't see anything obviously wrong with the buggy. It looks like he might be trying to pull off, though.
Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, we're hearing that maybe the front stopped pulling on it.
It's hard to tell in all the dust out here. Everything gets a little obscured.
It does. All right. I say we only had a handful of drivers on our UTV bounty class. Unfortunately, we had some DNFs today.
We did. On that Austin Tidwell DNF on both courses. Unfortunately for him, but Nathaniel Bell had the fastest time on course 2, and then Casey Howell after that. So that was a small class for our UTV bounty guys today. But I know they'll all be back at it again in just a few weeks for finals. So we'll see more from them then. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with the bouncers.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerfly XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the 9th race of the National Rock Racing Association. This is our last regular season race before finals. We are so pumped to be out here at Pineville, Missouri at Rush Springs Ranch. As always, I have the talented Bree Muller with me in the booth, and I am Matthew Holt. We are getting ready to kick off Course 2 of the Limited and Unlimited Rock Bouncers.
That's right, Matt. We had a great field of drivers. Some really fast times on Course 1. It was pretty exciting to watch those guys racing and how tight they kept those times. I expect more of the same from Course 2.
Yeah.
Course 2 is going to be a little more difficult than Course 1 was. We just saw our UTV bounty class on it, so we know what to expect for the bouncers.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how they handle the Yukon Do-It hill.
Yukon Do-It. Again, we saw that first big ledge kind of takes away the momentum. So if you have big horsepower with a big tire, I think you can kind of climb out maybe a slightly faster than the UTVs did. We did see two of those guys actually climb out the top, so I think we're going to see some bouncers do that too. Problem is, you have some areas where the wheels kind of drop down. You might have to see some broken parts coming up, so we'll see how that plays out. But other than that, a little uphill, a little downhill in the short course here, I think we're going to see some fast times out of that as well.
Let's take a look at our top 5 from Course 1 and just remind everybody how things shook out there. Nick Reich had the fastest time with an 81, followed by Wade Good with an 83, Cooper Bentley with an 84, Clay Kaysen with an 86.0, and Brandon Davis with an 86.2. Those were your top 5 from Course 1.
Yeah, again, very quick times there, and definitely I think we're going to see some tight racing too. I mean, literally we have fractions of a second, hundreds, even thousands in all the classes all weekend. So,
yep. Well, and I got sixth place was Daniel Heckley with an 86.3. Brandon had an 86.2.
Just incredible. Again, fractions of a second. So very exciting to see. After 86 seconds, we're literally still separating fractions of a second. We got Brandon Davis sitting in that race line starting gate with his new UFO Ultra 4 car. Got to do some racing last weekend at LS Fest with it. Asked him what he liked, what he didn't like. He said the buggies are great, handled perfectly. He said I could just use a little more power. We all kind of giggled. That's I think with everybody. We could always use a little more power, you know. Looks like he's letting it eat no problem on this hill.
Taking the far left line, like you said, Matt, the hill kind of naturally throws you over to the right, a little off camber.
He was right there. I think he kind of cased it at the bottom. Again, that's the first couple big buggies going up there. So longer buggies may have a little bit more of a problem. Again, need to carry a little more minimum there so that belly pan kind of rounds out the top of that hill. Because it looks like he's getting hung up right there at that top lip.
And that's interesting. Our UTV bounty class actually didn't have trouble right at the top there. It was down at the bottom. So interesting to see that is giving Brandon some trouble right now.
Again, trying to back down, get a little more run at it. Again, this is an Ultra 4 UFO car. It's a UFO chassis. Looks like he's kind of worked over to the far right side now. Again, it is so steep, and there's so much loose material up there. So, I mean, having these like an all-terrain tire, I know he's running the Mickey Thompson like an all-terrain, like a lot of the Ultra 4 drivers run. I got talked to him a little bit before about maybe looking at during some of this loose stuff with big ledges, maybe going more toward the Baja Pro X, and has a little bit more meat, a little more grip than necessarily an Ultra 4 tire, like an all-terrain tire. You don't go back too far to that right side. There is a little bit of a ravine over there.
Yeah, Brandon is off in the weeds a little bit now.
Yeah. Again, it looks like he shut it off right there.
I think the problem is he needs about 200 more horsepower.
or more. I mean, we could always use more horsepower. And again, it's right now it's so loose stuff too that you're just spinning tires so fast up there.
Yeah, you can see in the ground, in the foreground of your shot there, just the kind of gravelly top layer there.
And it's not even really like dirt, like mud. It's like loose powder, kind of like talcum powder mixed in with some rocks. Well, the good news, at least he has a tree next to him, get some shade, while he gets things figured out. I got Keith Toolman to the far right side of the screen. You can see Keith over there. I guarantee he's talking to Brandon. Him and Brandon are both very good friends. And Keith is a true hero of the sport, so he's friends with everybody. I'm sure Keith's talking to him, asking him what's he need. Yeah, and again, sometimes it's nice just to have an extra set of eyes. To be like, hey, can I roll backward? Can I go right, left? See what's going on?
Yeah, when you're strapped in and you've got your Hans device on, your neck protection, you really can't. Your field of vision is limited. Yeah. You can't turn around and look behind you real well. So, yeah, like you said, having a spotter out there that can help you out, definitely beneficial.
I know John Campbell used to have one as well. He had some comms in his helmet. Shortly after he got his, I put comms in mine. Now, again, most of the time I don't have a spotter. My dad's going to come to some races with me, so he could radio if we had him hooked up. Brandon had his wife, Cheryl, So having those comms is kind of nice just because if there is, like, say you're backing up, knowing, hey, can I back up 3 foot or can I back up 5 foot? Sometimes you're trying to get over that next ledge. Being able to back up just a little bit to get a little momentum to get over that next ledge is all you need. So, unfortunately, not knowing how far you can back up is sometimes kind of tricky on the hill.
I'm having some flashbacks to you backing up.
Just going to say, I personally know what that's like at this park.
Was that last year?
I think I set a record for the slowest rollover.
Was that last year?
Ever in the National Rock Racing Association. I think it was 2 years ago.
Right?
Yeah, it was
right
great.
Over there.
Yeah, it was great.
Poor Matt was just
like, I'd come back. I didn't see anybody. I couldn't hear anybody.
Get backed off the hill.
And I was because I had broke my buggy. I don't remember what happened. And I was thinking, you know what? I just need to get off the hill so I can get back to production because I try to keep the show rolling. I want to keep everything going the best I can. Back it up. And I sort of drop a little bit. And then it just started teetering. And I'm like, here we go. And you could have watched a TV show, like ordered some DoorDash before I rolled all the way over. I was so mad that day.
It was the world's worst. Slowest.
It was. The world's worst, too.
Roll
You're
over.
like, this is boring.
Just right over there. Matt's just trying to get off the hill.
It's like watching a turtle slowly roll over.
And then you're like, guys, why didn't anybody yell at me that I was backing into a hole?
Yeah. No, it was. And it wasn't.
Good times.
Yeah, and it was like.
Yeah,
the slowest.
We had fun watching it.
Again, setting the record for the slowest rollover probably ever on television was not the highlight of my day. And the thing is, it was like I could see it coming just slower and so like out I could see out my passenger window like, okay, here we go. Well,
there's not a whole lot you could have done at that spot.
No, because the buggy was dead. It was like not starting. Yeah. The buggy was dead, so I would have gassed it and tried to pull out. Unfortunately, it was not going anywhere. So I literally just had my foot off the gas, off the brake, kind of just sitting there Indian style, like, well, I guess
just letting it happen.
Yeah, I guess we're doing this, huh?
Along for the ride.
It is so. I could appreciate that. Looks like Keith might be winching him forward. Okay, they're using his own winch. And again, you can see how loose that is right there. I love that great shot. You can see how loose around that back driver's side tire or passenger side tire. You can see all the dirt and that rock just kind of coming out right there. You're going to have a big meaty tire and lots of power, I think, to climb out of there, or have just a super light power to weight ratio. But again, shout out to Brandon. He's bringing a car, trying some different stuff. So we appreciate Brandon and all he does for the sport. He ran TC chassis for a long time, and I think he wanted to do a little more longer distance racing. So he's been doing some Ultra 4 stuff. Had this car built, and has had just a really good time with it. And again, that guy running that winch cable, you might recognize him. That is the Danny Smith out there. He was planning on doing some racing this weekend, but it didn't work out, so that kind of stinks. Great to see him out on the hill doing recovery. And Danny was one of the first guys to you when you roll over the hill. Him and Bobby Tanner were always out there.
Yeah.
Bobby be in the cab like, you okay, buddy? You need a hug? And I'm like, we're not even rolling. What is going on? Bobby would be, like, in the cab. You would, like, pray with you, and you'd be still rolling the car, like, up you. He'd get you a snack and be like, you good, buddy? I'm like, it's not even rolling, Bobby. How'd you get in here so fast? And he'd probably laugh. Oh, man, you're so silly. You know. Yeah, great guy. One of the grandfathers of the sport.
Yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with Bobby Tanner, maybe you're a little newer to the sport and to the series, well, you just head on over to YouTube and put in his name and enjoy watching the videos of Bobby from over the years. We call him the godfather of rock bouncing. He is legendary in the sport. And, if you don't know who he is, just go put his name in and see what you find out. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome to the show. You're watching Hillside Live with Bree and Matt. Brandon Davis on the course right there, getting some assistance, getting off the hill. He is our first bouncer driver for Course 2. And while they continue this recovery, we are going to take a commercial break, and then we'll be back to send our next driver off the line.
There is this extraordinarily unpredictable beauty to backcountry riding. And I think that's what I love so much about BDR is that they give you a ticket to experience that. In our own personal lives, I think that we're able to exact a certain degree of control over the outcome of our own destinies. But backcountry riding involves venturing into the unknown, and you have to relinquish this idea that you're in control of the natural world around you. Riding a BDR comes with perspective-altering experiences of extreme beauty and challenges along the way. For sunshine or for rain, riding one will likely be an experience that you will never forget. This year I rode the Idaho BDR, and during my time on that route, the weather seemed to be a humbling adversary. With lightning and rain in the south and smoke and fire in the north, it was a tough route to navigate. But behind each challenge was a life lesson and an accomplishment that I can carry with me for the rest of my life. After spending 14 days exploring the backcountry and living off of MREs and fighting off mosquitoes, I've since come home to my normal life. And I missed the unpredictable nature of my day-to-day experiences. I missed the wanderlust freedom that I got from being out there. And I'm already in the process of planning my next route. There's a whole world that begins where the pavement ends, and BDR has given us the maps to go and see it.
All right, welcome back. We got, you can hear Brandon Davis on the hill giving a little gas. He's just getting over that last ledge, getting recovered on the hill. I think he was our first driver out of the course, so about 20. So we have a few more up there that are going to get out there and have some fun. But I'm not sure exactly what the issue, if there was a mechanical issue or what exactly. I know he couldn't quite make it to the last ledge. I don't know if he was just casing it really hard.
He was all the way at the top.
Yeah, and he had the front axle over, so I don't know if he was just casing it really hard or maybe he broke something. Again, he was backing up trying to get, but it's also extremely steep and very loose. So I'm not sure exactly what the deal is, but I have no doubt we'll find out. And if I know anything about Brandon, he will definitely get that problem fixed. So.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Tomorrow.
like on the way home, he'll be like, Shell, you drive, I'll fix it. So, again, Brandon Davis is great. He had that UFO car, and this is his second race with us, I think. He's had it out with us. He had it at LS Fest last weekend doing some racing again against Paul Wolf. Also running a UFO chassis, so I'm sure those guys are swapping secrets, so to get everything dialed in as much as possible. Yeah. So, well, anytime you got to have a new buggy, it takes a little learning curve, and you get stuff worked out and figuring what works best on it and working out the kinks and the bugs. And plus, Brandon is trying some other racing styles. He's doing some more of the Ultra 4 type races, and it's hard to have a buggy that really excels at both rock bouncing, hill killing, hill climbing, and the endurance racing. So I mean, hats off to him for getting this new build and putting it to the test out here, and with the
like you said, LS Fest and Crandon and some other stuff that he's been doing. So, I'm sure we'll see him continue to dial it in this season.
Yeah. And again, as the car gets more done, I'm sure he'll be a little more confident of what it can do and can't do.
While they continue this recovery, we are going to let you guys hear a little bit from Lynette here at Rush Springs Ranch. Give us just a second. We're going to get her a headset here.
Awesome.
Howdy.
Hi.
How are things going out here for y'all today?
Super hot and a little dusty, but
Yeah.
other than that, super awesome.
Yeah, a little warm.
It is a little warm.
Yeah, a little warm. You guys didn't have the air conditioning on for us.
Yeah.
I know. I know. I tried.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
How many years have we been racing at this park now? Like
oh my gosh.
8?
8.
Yeah.
I think at least
Does that
8.
sound right? I'd say something like that.
At least 8, 9. Yeah.
Yeah, been a while
Yes.
at any rate.
Yes.
We appreciate you guys. I know y'all have been working hard out here to get the hills ready, and just, the whole event area is so nice. It's so spectator friendly out here and laid out really well, so we appreciate you guys doing that for us.
We really appreciate you guys. If it wasn't for these guys racing, I'm telling you, it would suck. It would.
And again,
We think so too.
Yeah, again, you guys have a new check-in center with some awesome new
do.
merch there.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about what you got going. I think we're about ready to get back to the line, but tell us a little bit about what you've got going on in the park first.
So we have now, we have a new check-in area, which we're going to be selling furniture, and then we are also going to be selling shirts, of course, candy, chips, and drinks. And so we have a little office in case you need oil or other things. You can always get it from us. So we have that, and super amazing. Over 50 RV spots, full hookup, and then we have over 25 cabins. So come and see us.
Wow.
Yeah, super amazing.
That's awesome.
All
How many
right.
acres is the park?
He has about 1,000 acres, and then we have over 76 miles of trails.
Wow. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we have trails that nobody even finds.
I believe it.
It's crazy.
I said my dad went out trail running. He's like, man, I had a great time. I got to see some really cool trails. I was like, well, at least you didn't get lost. You know?
Exactly. It's a lot of fun. Plus, we have an amazing cave that everybody can go into.
I didn't know
and-
that.
Oh, yeah. You can actually go there with your rigs, and you can go back in there and totally check
that's
things out.
awesome.
It
Heck
is
yeah.
super awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
if you guys are in the Pineville, Missouri area or somewhere around and you want to come do some fun wheeling, come check them out here at Rush Springs Ranch.
I
Thanks
really
for joining
thank you
us.
guys. Thank
You're
you.
very welcome.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
You too.
All right, they got Brandon off the hill. Looks like Jay Stort's on the line. Here we go with Jay Storts.
Jay in his new Fortitude buggy. It looks like he also took that far left line.
All right, we've got our first bouncer up the Yukon Do-It Hill. This is Jay's second race in this new buggy. This is a Jake Pike built buggy. We talked about it earlier on course 1.
Just absolutely doing a phenomenal job. Man, listen to that motor eat. Again, you can tell how steep this hill really is.
Speaking of motor, Jay is running a 7.3 Godzilla with the 3.0 Whipple supercharger in it. So definitely, like Matt said, letting her eat going up this hill. And we enjoy listening to it, don't we, Matt?
I think he's got a front right flat tire, it looks like. Yeah, you can see that front right flat tire is definitely pulling real hard to that right side. Definitely kicking up a little extra dust, too, I'm sure. So you can see all the dust coming off that front right.
You know, honestly, I'm surprised we haven't had some more tire carnage.
Yeah, just because all this shelf rock out here is so sharp.
Yep.
All of our production crew taking cover as Jay rips around that corner. Again, this is the third race, I think, with this new buggy. Definitely getting her dialed in, having fun with it. That's a 144.108 for Mr. Jay Stortz. As that motor doesn't sound happy right now. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the amount of dust that's circulating around it.
We were joking a little bit earlier. It's like, I hope everybody cleans out their air filters after today. They're going to be wheezing otherwise.
For real. For real.
All the way to the end. All the way to the border.
We have a little drone recovery operation going on at the top of the hill right now. All right, Jay was our first time for course 2 of the bouncers. We've got a lot of drivers still to go, and then we've got our limited bouncers still. We're making good time here at Rush Springs Ranch, though, today.
Yeah.
We talked about it this morning, how we expected this one to be not as challenging as some of the others, not as much carnage as, say, like our West Virginia race, even Hawk Pride last weekend, or our last event. It's just some good, fast passes. The Yukon Dewitt Hill is obviously going to cause a little trouble, already has for a couple drivers. But other than that, this course is definitely doable. All the rest of it can be just good, fast passes. So I think we're going to see a couple more recoveries on the Yukon Dewitt Hill, but for the most part, nothing too crazy.
I think that those ledges, you get just the right bounce, come down, land hard on an axle. You can break a U-joint, and it doesn't have to be some big axle shaft. It can be a U-joint, or it can be some minor things, a diff, ring and pinions. We have a lot of guys who are putting way more power through a 14-volt ring and pinion that were ever designed to do. It was designed for a 300 or 400 horsepower engine, and now we have 1,200 horsepower going through it. So ring and pinion lets go. Two-wheel drive, you can't climb that hill. So. I think we might see
been there, done that.
Yeah, a few more recoveries today. Unfortunately, not what guys want, but I think that's just what we're going to see. Sounds like we're pulling a starting line.
I think we've got Ethan Jones on the line.
You can see all the bouncers down there patiently waiting for their turn.
Here we go.
Again, Ethan Jones, we were talking about earlier, he's been definitely getting real comfortable in this buggy. Wow, yeah. Again, immediately you can see how dusty it becomes, just throwing that loose stuff out of there. And this is a super steep hill. The camera really doesn't do it justice. So when you have a lot of loose stuff on top of a super steep hill, it really, doesn't showcase how violent it is to climb this thing.
There's a little bit of a better view of how steep it is.
Come on, get up there.
Nicely done.
There we go.
All right, looking good for Ethan.
Nice smooth run. Again, that uphill section, I think we knew we were going to see some issues going into today. So,
all right, it's just the short course now.
wow, launching off these jumps. Again, these guys are having a blast out there in that short course.
All right, the current time to beat is the 104 from Jay Storts. I'm sorry, 144 from Jay Storts. Let's see what Ethan did. 180.538. Ethan struggled a little bit on the Yukon Do-It Hill, but was able to get out the top and through the finish line. All right, now we've got Dallas Glover on the line. Dallas is racing for Dan Bowman's points today.
Again, you can see how steep that ledge is right there. I mean, just a monster ledge. And again, this is just such fine dirt mixed in with that rock. It's so loose, it's hard to get momentum to climb it. Oh, just clawing his way up there.
Come on, Dallas. Nice. That was actually pretty smooth for the Yukon Do-It Hill. Just some steady wheel speed and momentum carried him out the top.
Nice, smooth downhill section as well. You can definitely see how these suspensions of these buggies have changed over the years and just how calibrated they have become.
Yeah, Zach and I were talking about that earlier, how it used to be they were all just built for going up the hills at speed, not to come ripping back down them.
And again, it was rock bouncing because we were literally just bouncing object to object.
Yeah.
Now where everybody's got everything pretty dialed in to where we're kind of just high-speed racing from rocks to rocks.
Yep. And then you're able to throw in something like this short course, too.
Yeah. Which is just so much fun. That's a 172.066. Fred Dallas Glover racing for Dan Bowman.
Nicely done.
Getting Dan Bowman taking a little time off. He'll be back with us at finals. He also picked up a new buggy in the last few weeks. The Menace buggy, picked that up.
Adding it to the collection.
It is. Well, I mean, he sold one.
The fleet.
He sold one this year, so it's only fitting that he has to pick up another one, you know. All right, we got Cooper Bentley sitting on that race line starting gate. See what he's going to do.
Cooper had a third-place finish on Course 1. He's also coming into the weekend third in points overall.
Ooh. Again, landed, and I don't know if he high-centered there, but matted the gas, and it just spun. It didn't look like it went any farther forward there. There we go. Getting rowdy with it.
Nice.
Woo!
If you guys want to find out more about Cooper and his racing program, you can follow him on Facebook at CB Racing, Instagram Cooper Bentley Racing, and go find him on YouTube at Cooper Bentley. Cooper would like to thank Interco Tires, Vision Wheels, Go Forth Tire and Automotive, Fritz Transmissions, and Diddy's Big Block Race Shop for supporting his Bouncer racing program.
Off to the short course he goes. I'm interested to see how many guys can make up some time in the short course. Because, you know, that ledge is going to give everybody fits, so the really time to push it to be in the short course. So I'm going to see interesting how the times compare.
And everybody's done the short course now, so there shouldn't be any surprises out there. 130.111 for Cooper Bentley.
Ooh.
And that is our current leader on course 2.
And, you know, with that ledge giving everybody problems, Cooper still had to back up there.
Yep.
And he's our fastest time, and he still had at least one back up. So, again, little Tim Bacon sitting in line. We'll see if he can one-shot this and make a quick time. Running almost 600 cubic inch big block there. That Bacon family power. I think he's going to let her eat, baby.
All right. We've been together too long, Matt.
It's like the exact same thing, exact same time.
Matt, I have a question for you.
Yes, doctor.
Do you like bacon and do you like big blocks?
I like bacon, and I recently learned about cheddar-infused bacon. So, I mean, like...
That was not the answer I was expecting. I thought, like a resounding yes.
Yes. Yes. I like bacon. Yeah, I'm getting rowdy for it. Here we go. Little Tim Bacon in that new Too Rowdy buggy. Because his name's Bacon, he's trying to take home that cheddar,
I think Matt's just hungry.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh.
Get back on all fours.
There
we go. Oh, come on. He tried to upright it. There we go. All right, here we go.
Well, he did land on all fours.
He did.
Stuck the landing. He's kind of in a dust cloud right now, but he is on all fours.
He did rev it twice, so I feel like he's going to – there we go.
He is sticking with it.
I am determined to make this hill.
Tim has had some tough luck this season with breakages and just let's see, a pretty place. He hit a rock that just tore up the front end real bad right out of the starting gate. He is wanting a win right now, and a win for Tim, I think, is just two crosses of the finish line. He's already got one down for today. He is making sure that second one's going to happen. He's also our first Skinny Pedal nomination, I think, so far. We all know what kind of driver Lil Tim is. Maybe some of our newer spectators or our audience that's newer to the sport in the series, you might have missed that. The Bacons took a little bit of a break, used to race with us, and then had a season or two off. So we know what the Bacons are capable of and what their buggies, their builds are capable of. So y'all are getting a little taste of that right now on Tim Bacon's run here on course 2. We're going to see more of the same at finals, I'm sure, and he is just going to continue getting rowdy with it for the 2026 season, I have no doubt.
He is ripping through that short course. Wow, came through the finish line on 2 wheels.
.075.
Wow.
Even with a rollover back down the hill, it's not even our slowest time. So heck of a run from Tim Bacon. 2 finishes today, and awesome job to Tim Bacon. I know he's feeling pretty good about this right now after some of the luck he's had our past couple of races.
All right, we got an Amsoil action shot. Again, this is little Tim Bacon and his new Too Rowdy buggy coming up, and you can see the front end kind of bounce over a little bit. Just get him a little bit sideways there. You can see a tire spin, and that tire comes up in the air and gets him. I mean, again, we've talked all day about how steep this hill is. That front passenger comes up and it looked like 2 or 3 times it was going to stop rolling. Unfortunately, it just slowly kept going down the hill.
How about the fact that this buggy just barrel rolled? How many times was that?
Looks like 3.
3, 4. And then he was able to keep going and finish the course like nothing had happened.
When he landed, I heard him rev it up. One. And I was like, okay, here we go. And the thing is, if you roll during a race like that, once you're done rolling, you're like, bro, the worst already happened. Might as well just send it,
We've got Ben Driscoll on the line now. Ben racing that Misfit buggy. A reject fab build. This is his first full season racing with the series. And I think we've just seen him getting more and more comfortable.
Yeah.
And
climbing out the top.
Pushing it harder and harder each time, too.
Had a nice smooth, just a nice, easy, smooth
that
transition.
was really smooth all the way up.
It wasn't super fast. It was just nice, easy, smooth. Kept the momentum going. Ooh. There we go. See if he can keep that momentum, transition into the short course here. Nice and easy jumps there. Again, just keep the momentum going. I think he was our smoothest uphill yet. See what that time's going to be. That's a 1:20.462, and it looks like that is our new leader.
That is our new leader on course 2. That was a great run from Ben Driscoll.
Again, just a super smooth uphill. Nothing crazy there, just a nice smooth uphill. All right, looks like we got Connor Flynn sitting down that race line starting gate. Again, we're going to give a second for this course to clear out. We have a little dust getting stirred up. Again, these buggies are ripping through that short course area. All right, here's our top 5 while we get that course clear. Looks like number 1 again sitting with that new fastest time, Ben Driscoll, with that
by
smooth
10 seconds.
Yeah, with a nice smooth uphill section. 2 sitting in second, Cooper Bentley. Sitting in third, Jay Stewart. Sitting in fourth, Big Tim Waken with that new rig. And sitting in fifth, Dan Bowman.
And that was Dallas Glover running for Dan Bowman.
His stunt driver there. Again, Dan will be back with us at finals. Apparently he had to go pay some bills, I think.
It happens.
I think he was on vacation a bunch, too. So
well,
I think he has a trip.
That's even better.
There was a cruise or something he had planned ahead of time. They had bought the tickets for, so I told him when I grew up, I want to be him. I was like, when I grow up, I want to be you. Dan is one of the nicest guys you'll meet out on the course. Just easy-go-luckin'. Usually he'll have, like, flip-flops, khaki shorts, and no shirt on, just walking around hanging out, you know. All right. Sounds like we have a course clear. We got Connor Flynn again sitting in that race line starting gate. This is a rear mount engine, a little different than some of the other ones. I think that may do well here. We'll see again with the super steep hill with that loose stuff. It might give a little more squat to that rear axle. We'll see how that plays out. Again, he has done very well with this season with it. Unfortunately, had some motor issues earlier this season. Sparky was in our chat talking about the different motors he's running with. I think he said the LT4 is what they've swapped out with.
Yeah, they had the 7.3 Godzilla, swapped it for that LT4 crate motor now.
Anytime you're going to a crate motor, it's never a bad thing.
And Connor Flynn has really only been serious about the sport, he says, for about a year. So, it's not like he's got tons of experience under his belt. So he's been doing an awesome job with the Bullzilla buggy. Connor comes out of Somerset, Kentucky to race with us. And he might be our youngest driver in the bouncer class.
Yeah, I think so. I know Cooper Bentley held that title for a little while, but I think Connor's even younger than Cooper.
I think Connor's about 17, maybe 17 or 18.
Yeah.
Connor would like to give a shout out to Kentucky Truck Works of London and Somerset, Raceline Wheels, and Fritz Transmissions for supporting his race program.
London, Kentucky, that's near that EKU territory. Again, that's where our finals are going to be at. Wildcat, not too far. There's a Buc-ee's close to there, too, as well.
Man, there's a Buc-ee's everywhere now.
Yeah.
There's about to be a Buc-ee's 5 minutes from my house, Matt.
Ooh, you're going to be in trouble.
I'm not super. I hope it doesn't do things to the traffic on that exit.
They usually
because it's not that far. It's my side of town, so we'll see.
Luckily, they put good turnabouts right around the Buc-ee's, so I like that.
Yeah.
It kind of keeps the traffic flowing a little more than a stop sign. So, all right, Connor Flynn, clock is hot. Getting coming through those SCS stones there.
All right, let's see how Connor handles the Yukon Do-It Hill. Oh.
Getting a little
all right, he was
squirrely
getting
up
a little
there.
sideways there, but he's all right now. Not bad, not bad.
Getting nice, smooth transition by Connor. Again, he is ripping it. Oh, wow. Blazing into our short course on 2 wheels. I think he's going to push hard. This might be our new leader if he can keep this run going. Again, that rear mount engine might have helped him a little bit. I'll get on that uphill section. Ooh, he is getting rowdy over there.
Probably helped him a little right there, too.
This is going to be a quick time.
All right, let's check it out. 128.923. That is a second place time right now on course 2. Ben Driscoll still in the lead with a 120, now followed by Connor Flynn with a 128 and Cooper Bentley with a 130. As your top 3 right now on course 2 of the Mickey Thompson Bouncer class. We are pretty much halfway through course 2, and then we do still have the limited bouncers after this as well.
And speaking of rear mount engines, we got Brandon Jones sitting on that starting gate. That Ultra 4 style buggy. Again, I think Connor Flynn did really nice and smooth, that rear mount engine. I think Brandon might as well.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we've seen Brendan out here on the course with us. Glad to see him back in action. He is racing for Clint Garrison's points today.
Literally riding a wheelie uphill. Get her done. Just riding a wheelie uphill.
This is a Blue Torch Fab chassis.
That's an old school name there.
Yeah, Blue Torch. I haven't heard that one in a while. It's not in the bouncer game anyway. We don't see that as often, but this is more of an Ultra 4. I guess we got to call it a car if it's Ultra 4, Matt.
I have some Blue Torch Fab caliper brackets in the back of my bouncer. So anytime I hear Blue Torch Fab, it always makes me a little happy. Just, especially Peter Basler being part of the off-road community as well. So him and
Peter Basler's, that's a throwback name in our sport too.
It is. And again, like I said, Blue Torch Fab, definitely an off-road company, was a staple for quite a while.
Brendan is running a supercharged Coyote motor in this rig too.
Yeah, no, they were making some motor changes right around the time he bought Justin Will's buggy, the Angry Barney. So they were doing some motor work to it.
Making quick work of the short course. Oh!
Get a little squirrely there.
It looked like he tagged the flag on the corner. Hard to tell in the dust, though.
Yeah. Sounds like he did get a flag, I think.
And that's a 174.245 with the flag penalty, unfortunately, for Brendan Jones. Got a little wide coming around that last bank in the short course.
Little western there.
There's a little Amsoil action shot there. But he got 2 finishes for Clint Garrison today, and with Clint being 5th in points overall coming into this weekend, you know that he did not want to sacrifice those points, even though he wasn't able to be here. So I'm sure he is very happy with Brendan being able to get him those 2 finishes today. We are getting that flag put back up. And then it looks like we'll be sending Clay Kaysen off the line. Let's go ahead and take a look at our top 5 right now. We're just a little over halfway through course 2. Ben Driscoll is still in the lead with that 120, followed by Connor Flynn with a 128. Cooper Bentley with a 130, Jay Stortz with that 144, and Tim Bacon with a 157. All right, guys, well, they get that flag replaced out there. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back to send Clay Kaysen off the line.
You know, when you open up a motorcycle shop, it's a gamble.
I love motorcycles.
but most off, I kind of like to create them.
We can build really anything from the ground up, anything.
There it is.
The bike that John picked is an old dirt bike.
This one, right here.
He literally went in his backyard and was like, that'll do.
Well, we got a good deal on it.
What even design, like how are we going to build this thing? And by we, I mean you.
I got a little angel. She ain't got no rough cut diamond.
I think it takes a little bit of cojones to cut into your motor. Someone's trying to hit a home run because they're on television.
Like a revved up Harley. She'll turn your head. Color ungodly.
You get to see, these parts that were around back then, still alive and relatively well.
All right, we are black. We have Mr. Clay Kaysen sitting on that starting line, that TC-built chassis. Again, he is definitely going to try to break into that top podium spot.
Clay came into the bouncer class with a bang at our race at West Virginia earlier this summer. One of only 5 drivers to complete the first course.
Man.
Clay, one of our UTV drivers that's been dominating in the Cup class for a while now, and made the step up to the bouncer class earlier this season. And stand back, filling in for Ethan Hunt's points.
Ooh, he is flying downhill.
He is moving downhill.
Here we go.
This could be our new leader.
Yeah, he is flying right now. And he got a little hung up on that uphill section, but his downhills were fast.
And he is making short work of this short course.
Whoa.
Turning it into a shorter course.
Yes.
His UTV driving style clearly translates well over into the bouncer as well.
Yes. That's a 126.184.
It's not enough to catch up to Ben Driscoll, but it is a second place time right now on course 2.
Again, 126 by Ethan, 128 by Connor Flynn. Just, squeaking times together. It's incredible how close some of these times are.
Looks like Daniel Heckley on the line.
I think this is going to be just a monster run right now.
Daniel is our Skinny Pedal Award winner from our last race at Hawk Pride. He had a wild ride on Hill 1. So if nothing else, he is going to be taking home at least one trophy today for his Skinny Pedal Award.
Man, that buggy just moves. Here we go.
Wow, he just made really quick work of the Yukon Dewitt Hill.
I think that's our fastest
I
uphill.
was just thinking the same thing. That was probably our fastest uphill so far.
It has a very quick downhill as well. He is launching off these jumps.
Matt,
just ripping around
would
there.
you say he is hell-bent
Oh, yes, I
on
would.
beating Clay's time?
Yes, I would, Bree.
Or, I'm sorry, beating Ben Driscoll's time.
This is going to be a heck of a run.
A heckly of a run, if you will. Ooh,
Wow.
110.016. 10 seconds
Get her
faster
done.
than Ben Driscoll's currently leading time. Daniel Heckley now squarely in the lead here on course 2, followed by Ben Driscoll and then Clay Kaysen.
And again, Wade Good is sitting in that starting gate. You know, had to watch his uphill going, hey, he made a real quick time there. Daniel had a very fast short course area, but I think where he really solidified that was in that uphill section. Just really just smoked it.
Well, and Matt, it's not often that we see 10 seconds separating, 10 and then 6 seconds between our top 3 right now. Usually we're seeing those really tight times like we're always amazed by. So that's a little different right now to see that big of a gap.
I think the uphill is really where we've seen the kind of that separation so far.
Let's see how Wade Good handles the Yukon Dewitt Hill, and if he can do better than that 110 that Daniel Heckley just put down.
Oh, he is all over that hill right now. Dang it.
Oh, man, he was zigging and zagging, and I think he had to bail out and save that run and start over again at the bottom. And that, you know what? It's better than rolling all the way down, Matt.
He had a bad bounce. That front end went over, and there's an access road all the way down that side. So once he took that bad bounce, I think he just hooked into that access road, looped back around, and tried again. And you know he's definitely going to have a fast downhill now. He's driving full tilt right now.
I think Wade is just along for the ride right now. This buggy is bouncing and pinballing all over the place, but he is hanging with it.
His steering, it looks like his rear steer, I think, is acting up a little bit. That or he is just wiling out right now. Yeah, the top corner up there, right before he came down. Yeah, right before he came down, he noticed he went wicked far into the woods.
Yep.
And then when he came down to the bottom, it looked like he hooked too early. So I would say
I told you he was just along for the ride.
Yeah.
The buggy's got a little bit of a mind of its own right now, but man, we know Wade is no stranger to pushing that ragged edge. He's going to make it work, and he is going to zig and zag his way through the finish line no matter what.
I'm sure he is doing everything he can to keep that buggy going forward right now.
A little bit of a dog trot through the finish line, but he made it.
Wow. $133,955. Again, still like top 5 finish right now.
Even with having to bail out of the hill, come all the way back down to the bottom, and then having those rear steer issues acting up. Still a solid time from Wade Good.
What a wild ride there. Yeah, when he went to come down the last downhill section, he almost looked like he went through the woods a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
And I thought, is he just getting that spicy right now that he's took a little too wide? But you could tell once on the short course, so that thing was kind of all over the road. I'm sure he was working the rear steer button, but sometimes they can get a little jittery with the sensor.
It was working itself, too.
Still not a bad time for,
not
having to redo an uphill section. All right, we're going to check out our top 10 real quick while we have the course clear. All right, coming in first place right now, sitting with that 110-second time, Daniel Heckley. Right behind him, Ben Driscoll, Ethan Hunt, Connor Flynn, and Cooper Bentley surrounding that top 5.
Wade Good now in that 6th place spot, and then Jay Storts, Tim Bacon, Dan Bowman. That was Dallas Glover running for Dan Bowman. And Brendan Jones running for Clint Garrison. Those are your top 10 right now. We've got just a couple of drivers left. Looks like maybe three to four drivers to wrap up course 2 for the Mickey Thompson Bouncer class. And we've got Dustin Medley sitting on the line now.
All right, Dustin Medley, clock is hot. He's in that Gold Rush Reclaimed. I believe this is our biggest motor of all the buggies here.
Well, they walked right up.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. All right, we went a little high up the hill there. But, yeah, walked right up the Yukon Dua Hill.
It almost looked like he was checking to make sure he was turning the right spot. This thing is just a monster buggy. Just out there ripping through that short course. See what that time's going to be.
Ooh, 112.163. That is a second place time right now. Right behind Daniel Heckley. Daniel with that 110. Now Dustin with the 112. All right, guys, we've got Nick Reich on the line. Nick coming into this weekend just 1 point behind Wade Good, but Nick had the fastest time on course 1. Wade had a good time on course 2, but had some difficulties. There's definitely time for Nick to be able to capitalize on there.
Again, Nick sitting first place. We'll see how that shakes out for him today.
Nick comes all the way from Wisconsin to race with us. We are in Missouri this weekend, guys, so.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, what happened? All right, he's just getting another go at it. So the commitment that Nick has to this sport and this series, the travel involved, everything that goes into it, hats off to him, because it is not easy, and he does some of the most traveling out of all of our drivers to get here. Not the smoothest run we've seen on the Yukon Do It Hill, but that's all right. He made it. He's on his way back down. And with a 110-point lead over third place coming into this weekend, Nick can afford to play a little safer on this hill and make sure that he just gets a good solid time without getting too crazy out here.
See what it does on the short course area here. I know Nick does a lot of shock tuning on his ORI shock, so get out there and see how good those guys can work in the short course area.
Well, he's got probably the lightest buggy out here, if not the lightest. It's definitely one of the top 1 or 2 out here. So he is just throwing this thing around the short course right now.
Look at that, just whipping around those corners. Woo! 199 for Nick Reich. Again, we have some wicked close times. I think that puts him in third place.
That is a third place time right now on course 2. Yep. All right, let's take a look at our top 5 from course 2. Daniel Heckley held on to that top spot with a 110, followed by Dustin Medley with a 112, Nick Reich with that 115, Ben Driscoll with the 120, and Clay Kaysen rounding out top 5 with that 126. And you know what, Matt? Looking at this list right here, there's a couple names on there that are, always great drivers, but not necessarily what we're used to seeing in our top 5. So seeing Dustin Medley up there in second right now, Ben Driscoll 4th, Clay in 5th. Clay, this is only his 3rd or 4th race in the bouncer. So awesome job to all of our bouncer drivers here on course 2. I do believe that is going to complete course 2 for the unlimited bouncers. And that means we are ready to go ahead and run course 2 for the limited class.
Yeah, some awesome racing from those bouncers. Those guys were just screaming. Again, I was interested just to see how all of that was going to shake out because the hill caused so many guys problems. I knew it was going to be some issues, but I was surprised at how many guys had difficulties with that course. Again, I know it's such loose dirt that just caused havoc for everyone. And then the short course, obviously a lot of fun. You can see some guys pushing it, making up a little time there.
Yeah, some great racing from everybody today.
Wow. That's incredible. Again, hearing the combined time splits is just incredible.
They're both on your phones.
All right, our first driver for course 2 of the limited bouncer class, Justin Hoback, on the line. Justin had a 3rd place finish on course 1. He's also first in points coming into this weekend in the limited class.
Again, these guys are also, even though they're in the limited class, they are doing the exact same course that the unlimited bouncers do. Come on, get up there.
I'm going to say this is probably the most challenging hill that Justin has put Showstopper on so far.
Yeah, this is a long, again, you can see the tires just flinging debris out from underneath them. You can see how loose that stuff is. And again, all the horsepowers you have are needed to get up the top of this hill.
Well, and Justin made it work. Just a nice, smooth, and steady climb right there.
Getting lined up for that second hill you got to climb on course 2. Getting that big concrete wall there. And you want to hit that with some minimum, but you don't want to launch out the top either. Man, that buggy is just screaming right now. It's so cool to hear him on his big engines on the hill, just matting it wide open.
Justin getting lots of time in on that short course this weekend. He raced our UTV stock class, racing the bouncer class, and also rode with his daughter Clara when she raced the UTV teen class. So he's getting all kinds of seat time, driving and co-driving this weekend.
And I would say riding, co-driving for Clara, probably the most nervous. Not because he's worried about crashing, but just because he's worried about her doing a good job and want to make sure she's, feels comfortable in it. That's a 205.788 for Justin Holback. And again, nice smooth run there.
We've got Chris Clements on the line now. Here we go with Chris Clements.
Working his way up to that Mickey Thompson mountain over here. There we go. Oh, no!
Oh, no!
So he caught that big edge right there. We had talked about all weekend, that big ledge. It gave some issues of side-by-sides. I bumped him to the side. Again, luckily he was able to stop. You can see him already open the window. Sometimes drivers will stay inside. Usually the recovery crews are there, and by the Let's climb out, get everything unbuckled, climb you back over, and you climb back in, hook everything back up, or just stay inside.
Might as well just on and
be
along for the ride there.
It's Keith Toolman pulling up there, so get up there, get him all over. Brandon, again, had his own winch, so he went and used his own winch with Keith. But, all right, we got an AMSO action shot. That sweet new logo they came out with. All right. Why'd they get that set up?
Technical issues.
Yeah, luckily he stopped right there. I'm not sure. They'll have to hook probably something to the front of him as well. That way when they go to flip him back over, it doesn't take off down the hill. And again, that big ledge that he clipped just barely took over enough to land on that passenger side. I guess as Keith will pull up there and either go to the very, very top or pull on the edge of a very large tree to help winch him back onto his wheels.
While they work on this recovery, guys, we are going to take a quick commercial break. Y'all listen to these messages from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back after this. Just kidding. We're having some technical difficulties. Sometimes computers freeze up.
Yeah.
Sometimes people freeze up.
Sometimes people freeze up. And again, we've run 95-degree weather, so after about 8 hours, the computer gets a little warm. Some of our switcher boards get a little warm. Some of the staff,
some of us get a little warm.
Cameramen and camera ladies get a little warm. It has been an awesome day, though. We've actually had a very quick day compared to what necessarily sometimes we have at certain off-road parks. We had to have some rollovers and recovery, but not near as much as I thought we were going to.
Yeah, we've kept things moving pretty well here today, which is always appreciated. I know our recovery crew appreciates that too, and all of our spectators that enjoy watching the racing action. Unfortunately, recovery is part of racing. Can't really get around it, but we do always appreciate it when we've got less rather than more.
Yeah, for real.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerfly XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
So we have 3 different beadlock wheels that most of our guys use. We have the teardrop, we have the twisted, and then we have the twisted black. So we have a machine version of the twisted, then we have the black. We have these in 14 and 15 inch, all 4 lug. We will be coming out with, in addition to some of the tires I was talking about earlier that we're coming out with, we're going to have a new line of wheels come out. Some of those will be 5 lug to keep up with some of the new manufacturing that's happening in the UTV world. But the beadlock wheels that we're selling right now, Rock Life and those guys carry these as well. So right now we're having some specials on them. So I'd recommend if you need a set of beadlocks, you're not going to find any cheaper than those.
All right, welcome back. Looks like we got a recovery underway and almost done. Looks like he's getting pulled off. Unfortunately, did have a little rollover there, but it's okay. Again, I'm surprised we didn't have more. As big as that ledge was.
You know, I am pleasantly surprised
Yes.
at the lack of carnage and recovery that we've had so far, actually, on Conduit Hill. I agree with that, Matt. That was Chris Clements that did have that rollover and just got recovered off the hill. We've got 2 drivers left for a limited bouncer course 2, and that is going to complete our day of racing. We will invite our winner up here to close out the show with us and chat a little bit. So y'all hang on for that. This is Cody Kaysen pulling up to the line. Cody is running in the general Jay Stewart's buggy for Dustin Carter's points.
Looked like Kenneth Cozian down there running our starting gate. Shout out to him. Again, he had a rough day with his new bouncer. He's got a new bouncer. They just got done getting built. Making sure we got a course clear here. Make sure our flags are all back up. You can see Russ, the owner, down there, getting some footage. Again, for those of you who are in Pineville, Missouri, at Rush Springs Ranch, located in the southern corner of Missouri. So you guys looking for a cool place to come wheel? It's about 1,000 acres. They have some cool cabbaging stand plus RV hookups, so very cool park to come out to. Nice bathhouse, nice amenities. All right, clock is hot. That iconic blue helmet there. Cody Kaysen in there. I'm not sure if he broke something there. They were saying that they thought I heard that the front wasn't pulling. It looked like... Okay, yeah. I was trying to watch his tires.
I know. I'm trying to figure out
a lot of times
what he's doing here.
If you break a drive shaft or you break a ring and pinion, you hit the brakes, like your front can lock up and the back will keep rolling, or vice versa. So I was trying to see if one locked up and one didn't, but.
Well, he's got Clay Kaysen on the hill helping him get backed off here. I'm sure Clay, you can see him running down right there, will give him whatever assistance. Oh, he's hopping right in. That's the full on recovery assistance right there.
He's like, give me a ride back over there. I can hear him too. I can hear Clay saying that. I'm walking all the way back over there.
All right, guys, that concludes course 2 for the limited bouncer class. Justin Hoback, the only one to complete the course, and he finished with that time of a 2:05. Well done to our limited bouncer class. That was not an easy hill to climb for any of our drivers today, and everyone handled it like a champ.
They did.
As well as they could, and we appreciate all the racing action here. We are going to give you guys our overview or our top 5 results from the unlimited bouncer class. And to do that, we would like to invite Nick Reich on up here. Nick, can we get you up in the booth?
Grab his headset here. There we go. Get you up here. What's up, buddy?
How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
So you must be pretty jacked.
Yeah. Maybe a little beat down. When I hit that hill, it did not act the way I wanted it to.
No.
And it, like I was waiting for the big hit on the left-hand side, and I'm like, focused on that, and the hit came from the right-hand side. And then it wheelied, and then it just stopped. And I was like, oh, what? I don't even, it kind of caught me off guard. And it's just, my hand was on the shifter, and it threw it forward right to the reverse. So I was real quick with that. And then the take off again. And same thing, I was aimed to the left. I had no intention of going to the right, and it shot right to the right. So I was like, I'm going with it.
And again, coming in first place on course 1, being just, tenths of a second ahead of Wade on course 1, you knew you had to push it real hard.
2.3 seconds.
2.3 seconds. Faster than, you need to clarify.
That's important.
Time out. We got 2.3 seconds. Okay. So being just barely ahead of Wade on course 1, obviously he's a fierce competitor. What was your goal to try to get on that top spot of the podium today?
I really wasn't looking at anybody else. I was just trying to go as fast as I could and keep it under control. I really wanted to blast this hill. The line that I picked this morning was the same line that Daniel hit.
Yeah.
And I was going to hit it as fast as I was going, and I don't know if you've seen, but something caught and I got wonky. I started going left and right, and I could not get it straightened out. So then I just had to hope for the best and wherever it went. But
yeah, and again, we saw that kind of a lot of guys on that uphill section. What was your game plan going in to that big, long Mickey Thompson Mountain?
Just a lot of throttle, and I mean you're talking about on hill 2, right?
Yeah.
A lot of throttle, and I wanted to stay left. I wanted to stay left and ride it. That's what gave me success in the past, but it didn't work out like that. So then after that, it was just lots of throttle and trying to hang on and make sure the buggy don't turn over.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and, Nick, first of all, congrats on today. Awesome job.
Thank you.
I want to go over the rest of our top 5 from our bouncer class today. Nick standing on top of the box. Daniel Heckley, second place today. And then we've got Dustin Medley rounding out our podium. Wade Good ended up with 4th place. And then Clay Kaysen running there for Ethan Hunt in 5th. So it's always exciting to see a shake-up on the podiums and see a couple names on there, different than our usual. So that just goes to show you how everyone is pushing each other out here to really drive their best. And the later we get in the season, everyone's getting comfortable. They're getting that seat time now, and it's starting to reflect in the times that we're seeing put down. So, Nick, do you have any thoughts for us as we look ahead to finals? Finals is coming up October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's twice as many hills, twice as many points on the line. We race 4 courses instead of just 2 for each class. So what are your thoughts as we head into finals?
Just consistency. My mechanic and the way we maintenance the buggy, the program is working very well. We're going to keep doing that, and I kind of been going over my numbers from the whole season, and I just consistently been being faster and faster and faster, and I'm hoping I can just hold that. So
yeah.
I haven't done any practicing or anything in between any of the races. I honestly just race and put the buggy away, and then when I get back, we break it down and go through it. A big shout out to my mechanic Dennis that helps me. He works on it all day while I'm away at work, so that is a huge help and a big key to this success. And then, I mean, as far as everything else, I'm probably going to drive a little bit. I gotta want to be on the top of my game for this finals.
You can push it a little bit. Well, and with 4 hills to hold it together for, I mean, are you going to start out maybe a little more conservatively and make sure that you can get to that 4th course, or you just, is it wide open?
No,
for all 4.
So the biggest problem that I have with all racing is it's really easy for me to go wide open and be out of control or drive 10 or 20% past. I have the other side of things where I'm constantly trying to just stay in control. So I'll just keep going with what I'm doing, trying to stay in control.
Well, obviously it's working for you.
Yeah.
So before we close out here, do you have any last thoughts? Anyone you want to give some shout-outs to while you're up here?
Oh, I'd love to tell Mickey Thompson thanks for an awesome product, AMSOIL, Rod End Supply, ORI Struts. I mean, look at how those things are performing. Fuel Factory Fuels, RCV. My number 1 fan here, Lily, my wife and kids, and God. Thank you guys all for helping me get this far. So.
Well done today. Thank you guys all for tuning in with us here on Hillside Live. Thank you to Russ and Lynette and the crew here at Rush Springs Ranch for hosting us this weekend, to SCS GearBox for sponsoring this round of the NRRA. And we are looking forward to finals being in just a couple weeks. You guys can head to nationalrockracing.com to find the schedule of events for those 3 days at finals, and point standings, season driver bios, all kinds of good stuff on there. So go to nationalrockracing.com for that. So from Matt, myself, the whole crew here at Rock Racing TV, thank you guys for watching with us today.
You.
Congrats again to Nick. We'll see you guys.
We'll see you guys.
Thank you.